want to do business with folks who are down in the dumps, not excited, enthusiastic about what they're doing. They want to do business with people who are fat. And when I say fat, I don't mean physically fat. I mean fat with the spirit, right? Mm-hmm. Who are on 10, confident, right? They believe in what they're doing. They're passionate about what they're doing. I promise you, I don't talk anyone into joining me in business. I don't do it. I introduce the service, professionalism, enthusiasm, and excitement, and I wait for people to raise their hand to say, hey, I want to join you in business. That's always been my approach. But you can't have that unless you have the enthusiasm. All right, I'm done preaching. Let's go ahead and get into the furniture. I can read Ms. Rogers' body language and her look on her face sometimes. I know she'd be looking like, for real, we gonna go 2 hours tonight? No, we're not. We're gonna be done here about 45 minutes. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. I assigned a couple individuals to please help me watch the waiting room, because once I start pulling the PowerPoint, I really can't monitor the waiting room. So I don't want to have people screaming and yelling to my let me in. So I'm gonna make one other person a co-host, help me monitor the waiting room. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and see Chrome tab. Man, if you can tell, I really am on 10 tonight. That I had a conversation with our guest speaker yesterday, following our BizConnect Mixer, and the feedback was absolutely incredible. And man, I'm telling you, for those of you who missed it, I don't even feel sorry for you. This what was you. Okay. In any respect, here we go. So look, we know what we do, right? These are like the principles that ultimately determine success of all of us. We celebrate, we edify, and protect. The reason why we spend the first 10 minutes, talking about those bright spots and those success stories, because we celebrate people's success here, big, small, little, grandiose, it doesn't matter, right? The journey to a 1,000-mile destination starts with the first step. So we celebrate, we edify a system, we protect that system, we protect leadership, we protect the principles that brought us to where we're at today, which is one of the fastest growing organizations, not just in Michigan, but the entire company, which I'm really excited about that. We leave activity and we work side by side. This is not corporate America. This is not the job. There are no bosses here. They're just success coaches and partners who are getting it in, and we lead with the activity, right? The KPIs. We'll get into that in a moment. And we say, look, if you want to participate, let's work side by side. It's not what you are doing, but look, what can we do together to help you successfully build your business? We invest in personal development. We know in life, we don't get what you want. We get what we are. What we are is the things that we are consuming and the activity, right? I love the logo that Mr. Temple created. Says decide, be, do, have, right? People want to have first and they say I'm going to be. It doesn't work that way. You got to be willing to do the work. You are what you do and you are what you think, right? We use the third-party tools. That way, whether you have sales experience or not, whether you come from corporate America or you've been working at Speedway, whether you have experience building a business or you're a novice, because of the third-party tools, everyone has an equal opportunity to have success. And of course, we're all about that uplifting service, right? Making sure that our members are happy, making sure that families, professionals, and business owners and corporations alike are leveling up and having more, doing more, being more profitable, being more successful, being change agents in their community. That is our value prop. At the end of the day, that's what we do. That's why we exist. Right. And so I want to give a shout out to those who Performance Code qualified, because this is a big deal, right? Our Performance Code qualifiers are the tip of the spear. Right. They're the individuals who are doing the do. They're not just talking about it, they're being about it month in and month out. Right. And Performance Club is a huge piece for those individuals who dare to dream, who dare to believe, look, not everyone, once again, becomes a multimillionaire here at People Inside, but I'm raising my hand. I'm going to be one of them. Well, the first step is Performance Code qualified, right? And so people Performance Code qualified, they tend to invest in personal development. They focus on the key performance indicators, the exposures, the presentations, the referrals, the three-way calls, right? This is a huge piece of what's required to be successful as an entrepreneur here, but quite frankly, in business, period. And of course, they stay connected. They plug into the calls, they get the information. And as Mr. Nick Serba said, if you want to find out who's going to be a multimillionaire, go to the convention. Not everyone becomes a multimillionaire with our company once again, but those who do, they attend the international convention. You can hear us talking about that way more in the coming days and weeks. All right. In the beginning, you start out as a team of me, right? Before you can expect to lead anyone else, you must be willing to lead yourself. That's why Performance Club is so important. And what's required, once again, learning how to give a proper invitation, right? We don't sell, we sort, right? Sharing information, edifying the tools, edifying your partners, getting the exposure in, inviting someone to look at a tool, listen to a video, conducting a three-way call. Third party is always going to be the best party, right? Putting someone else on the phone with your prospects who may be more experienced than you, who may be more fluid than you, or just quite frankly, just have the enthusiasm and excitement, right? Learning how to give a presentation, and of course, the referrals. We ask for 3 referrals. Who do you want to help? Who do you want to educate? Who you believe deserves to learn more about what it is we're doing here and how we transform their lives across North America? And then, of course, promoting the events. The most important event is always the next event. And we got 2 incredible leaders, 2 incredible leading ladies here with Team New Horizons. We're going to talk about that tonight. I'm looking forward to stepping to the side. Look, I applaud all of you for joining the core training. This is an investment in yourself. This is the checkup from the neck up. Every single week, we share strategies, tactics, and information about how to level up in your business. The only place where success comes for training is in the dictionary, right? So week in and week out, we cover the furniture, the basic fundamentals that are required to build a successful business. And so I applaud all of you for taking time to invest in yourself to be on this call this evening, because it means you're taking your business seriously. You are not treating this like a hobby. You understand that, right? Want to cover the furniture a little bit more? Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a webcast that is taking place where you can invite people to learn about the membership. And we give a little bit of information, like a short overview for individuals who are not only interested in our services, but also onboarding with us as partners. Look, on average, this call closes 70 to 80% of the time. I'm just gonna leave it, I'm gonna let that lay on you for a while, right? 70, 80% of the time, people who attend our live events, whether it be a Zoom call or a live in-person event, enroll in the service. And of course, we know out of 10 individuals who enroll in the service, we know usually 1 or 2 of them are prospective partners. So, hey, take a snapshot, take a screenshot of this, of course, jump in Slack, make sure you are getting the updates there as well. And Ms. Webb, of course, does an incredible job of making sure we're aware of that. She was very much responsible for creating a video, a tool, right? Where you can take this to the marketplace when you are approaching entrepreneurs, whether they've been in business for 2 seconds or they've been in business for 20 years, and give an abbreviated overview in terms of how we help business owners level up and grow and thrive. This tool is highly effective. I believe it's one of the primary reasons why we are the #1 B2B small business solutions organization in the entire company per capita, right? Definitely you want to take a snapshot of that, make sure that's part of your portfolio, your tool set when you're out there in the marketplace and people are asking you, hey, what do you do for a living? You say, well, look, I can show you better than I can tell you. All right. We have Biz Connect Mixer. Man, I have a full page of notes, small print, like little small handwriting print for my Biz Connect Mixer from yesterday. Every week, moving forward, we are going to be inviting individuals who are out here crushing it in the marketplace, whether it be marketing, tax and accounting, building community, sales, marketing, you name it. We're going to bring in experts every single week, right? And we're going to commiserate with other entrepreneurs and business owners, give them a chance to share their stories, talk about the things that matter most to their business, receive feedback, sharpen the saw. This is not simply a sales presentation. This is a networking event. So you can build those warm, fuzzy feelings, build those relationships, build those networks. And of course, we give our 10-minute infomercial about our services because everyone needs to know about it. So you want to definitely take advantage of that. We have a calendar that will be introduced very soon, which I'm really excited about. Thank you, Ms. Webb, once again, along with our website, where you will be able to plug people in. Of course, for the time being, you can go to Eventbrite and get that information. But definitely, look, you want to make sure you are plugging people into this event. We had a gentleman who wasn't even supposed to be there. He was a taxi. He was a ride for somebody else. Gentleman got so excited that he said, I'm coming back next week. And I anticipate, I give myself a pat on the back because I invited out our guest and she brought that person with him that he'll be coming on as a member within the next 24, 48 hours. So take full advantage of the event. If you can't tell, I'm on 10 about this. All right. Oh, let me stop right there. So speaking of events, I'm going to press pause, right? Because look, obviously, I'm not going to say nothing negative or look, I have nothing bad to say what PPLSI has meant for me personally in my life and my family. I come to this call on 10 every single week, but not only for myself, but also for so many other individuals whom I've seen crush it. Like, if you don't know, I get beyond excited when I hear the success stories that are taking place. You know, there's a book out there by Reginald Lewis called Why Should All the White Guys Have All the Fun? And I feel this way about this business. PPLSI right now is still producing and they've been doing this for 15 years. That's crazy. For 15 years, they have produced a family that's earned in excess of $1 million with this company on a monthly basis. Man, if you can't get excited about that, I just don't know what to tell you, right? Over the last 10 years, we've produced over 1,000 business partners that are earning a 6- and 7-figure income, 99.9% of them part-time, spare time. Let me ask you a question, because some of y'all, look, I'm trying to give it to you, right? Attitude comes for the altitude. If you worked at a company where every single month, the place where you work at, like where you work at, where you clock into work, or even for the small business owners listening in, if you were in an environment where every single month someone earned in excess of $1 million, doing what it is you do, how long do you think the line will be around the corner to join you?
Okay.
Right? We have over 30,000. You know, there are companies, you know, the majority of companies don't have 30,000 employees, period. Don't have 30,000 employees. Go online, look it up. Pull up the number of companies that actually have 30,000 employees. I'm telling you, the number is way smaller than you think. We have 30,000 associates, business partners, and affiliates who are earning residual income, meaning they can stop working today, no longer be active with us. And because of the rock solid company we're partnered with, the service that we have available to us as franchise owners to market, the leadership and the support, we have 30,000 individuals who are earning money in their sleep. So we're not an organization that talks about it, right? This is not a pipe dream. We're not one of those things where people talk about faking it till they make it. No, we can fake it till we make it here. The system works. Many of them earning hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars on a yearly basis for residual income, meaning they are no longer active with us. Many of them are retired, but they're still receiving those checks month in and month out. That's huge. And so I'm done talking. I'm done trying to warm up the audience. But I want you to give it up. I want you to pay close attention to what these two ladies have to share in terms of their experience with PPLSI Legal Shield and why the attitude becomes for the altitude. And more importantly, look, why is it so absolutely important that people plug into events, right? Because I think some of y'all getting it twisted. You think you're supposed to show up and cheerlead and applaud and watch other people do their thing. No, the events are to grow your business and to grow you. So without further ado, the incredible, the admirable, I'm kind of feeling some kind of way so we can see her eyeballs and teeth. I know she's under the weather, but I'll tell you, Ms. Webb, she could sell a lot of Girl Scout cookies with just her smile alone, okay? It's absolutely incredible. Ms. Webb is an experience. But Ms. Webb, if you don't mind, look, I know you've been plugging into the events in North Carolina. I know it's been a day and night difference when you were in Georgia. We ain't gonna get into some of that stuff, but we're gonna talk about why North Carolina has been so fruitful. And if you don't mind, share with the group why the events have been so absolutely important. How did it make a difference in your life personally? Because people need to hear that too. And also in your business, when you made that transition to North Carolina and started plugging into the events as well, the floor is yours.
Thank you. And I apologize for being off camera. I'm just not feeling the greatest tonight. Um, but yeah, I mean, even if it wasn't Malloy and Gardner, who are two of, the top best of the best in the company, even if they weren't there, um, the importance of plugging into these live events, I mean, I can't even say enough about it. Like everybody goes through kind of like peaks and valleys in their business. And when you kind of feel like unmotivated or uninspired, or you're just having like a lull in your business, like definitely going to a live event um, will help re-energize you and reinvigorate your motivation, your readiness to like really go after it. And not saying that you should only go to live events when you're having a lull. You should go to all the events. Because everybody has something, some new insight or some amazing nugget to provide. They've all been through all the hardships of this business, all the ups and downs. So they really can give you that wisdom. Um, and so they also talk a lot about personal development. Like they're very serious about, reading your books of the month and um, just soaking up that additional knowledge, um, and really becoming a better person because of the experience that you get from the live events and the camaraderie that you build and all of that. Um, so I really feel like I don't know who said it, but someone said it at one of the conventions. Like once you go to one, like you won't want to stop going to these events. And I really do feel that way. Like um really getting plugged into these events on a regular basis. Not only does it help you invigorate your business, but it also shows the leadership like, hey, this person's serious. Like, let me see if I can help them, kind of like get over what hump they're maybe struggling with or whatever the case. Like that networking aspect is there as well. So, I mean, it was just an awesome experience. So many, wonderful insight dropped, and just a couple things that I'll mention that they said over the 2 days, because they also had a mix of more intimate mixer the Friday before, where we got to actually ask them questions directly, and it was pretty amazing. But one thing that Elizabeth Gardner said that I thought was really poignant was clarity in the business is magical, and she like really honed in on the word magical, because if you don't if you don't know where you're going, and I'm paraphrasing what she said, but if you don't know where you want to go, then you're not going to be able to map out a chart out a course to get there. So you really have to have, that clarity, that vision of what you want this business to do for your life. So and you constantly going to be reevaluating that, you know, as you progress throughout the business. And she also said that she said if you really want to get above the $100 ring, pick a lane and really specialize. They do have the wheel of opportunity. So you should be versed in all the areas, but um, definitely focus. Find something to focus on and really master that. A couple other things that Mr. Malloy said: um, wherever you are, be there. So be present. And I'm saying that not on camera, which is kind of funny, but be
Mhm.
present. Be in the moment and soak up that knowledge. And then he also said, stay at 1, 2, 3, which seems kind of fundamental, but really stay at 1, 2, 3. So all the activity that it takes to get you to manager, do that over and over and over and over again, and you'll inevitably, rank advance to the highest levels and build an organization that will also get there as well. So, I mean, I could go on and on and on, but those were a few things that stood out. So, yeah, definitely plug into these events. I mean, they really, they have, um, they they have the insight, they have the knowledge, they have the inspiration, they have the energy and the enthusiasm really put you back into the spirit of building your business. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you, Mr. Buford.
Thank you, Ms. Webb, but I'm not gonna let you off the hook. I'm sorry. Because you drop some gems there that people really need to understand and hear, right? Look, one of the things I heard from you, Ms. Webb, and there was quite a few, I'm not gonna go into the ad nauseam, but the ideal, once again, of iron sharpening iron, particularly sharp iron sharpening iron, and being in a space where other entrepreneurs are winning and succeeding and enthusiastic. Look, you already know in our organization, you're not going to hear it from me. I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be milk and honey. You're not going to get that here. There's so many gurus out here, so few gurus. You have these people on Facebook and Instagram and social media talking about you join as an entrepreneur and something. Money's going to rain from the sky like manna. Let me tell you right now, entrepreneurship is not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. But also don't want what you don't want. If it was easy, we wouldn't get paid and compensate the money we get compensated for what we do. There's a price to be paid, but the juice is worth the squeeze. And Ms. Webb look, when you were in Georgia, and I don't want to tell too much of your stories. I think I'm looking forward to you telling your story yourself. But is it fair to say you felt really isolated while you were in Georgia?
It's fair to say that, yes.
And look, this is so huge because it can feel isolated as an entrepreneur. We're anomalies in our communities, right? Not everyone was born on third base. Not everyone was born into, the Trump situation, right? Where all of his children saw entrepreneurship, business development, and growth, and were able to see examples of success. I firmly believe, I know that for most of us, if we went and looked at our phone and looked at 100 names and numbers, it's not too many people who are successful as entrepreneurs in our Rolodex. And even fewer individuals who are successful in the B2B industry, right? In the direct selling industry. And Ms. Webb, if you don't mind, I know you're under the weather, so I'm not going to push you too hard, but talk about it, on a real guttural level. What did it mean to you to go from a space where you felt isolated and alone? Why was it so important for you to get in that space with other entrepreneurs who are winning? Because people really need to hear this.
Yeah, it was difficult in Atlanta because, I was there for quite a while, and the whole time that at that point I was in leadership for about 2.5 years. And the whole time that I was in Legal Shield in Atlanta, I would go onto the Legal Shield calendar, I would go on to Young Pros and Facebook pages and all these subsects in Atlanta. And I could never get anyone to help. No disrespect to Coach Nan, Danielle, I know they're down there, but I didn't feel supported at all in the business. And then having you guys in Detroit, so everyone, you were thousands of miles away. And it was difficult. It was difficult trying to stay motivated when you didn't have that support. You didn't have direct access to it. I couldn't reach out and touch. And since being down here in Charlotte, they have a booming market. And between the North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee, they have a really, really booming market down here. And it was just easy. It was easy to plug in. Everyone, is so helpful. They were willing to give me their numbers to, do three-way calls or whatever the case. It just feels more like a family, and there's no way to not succeed because we have established that camaraderie. And so the bottom line is sometimes it does matter where you are, But the point that I want to drive home is that when you find that, that the camaraderie, when you find that family, when you find that circle, there's no way not to succeed because everybody's in the same boat. Everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody's staying on 10 at these events. Everybody's, giving it their all. Everybody's like on code, so to speak. So it feels really good to be part of that at being down here in Charlotte now.
I love it. So look, for those individuals who are not in Detroit, Ms. Webb is telling you, I mean, she's dropping boulders. You have to plug into events. Like I said, for those of you who are in, look, I know the entrepreneurs know, I'm seeing some of you nodding your heads because being a successful entrepreneur is, man, you are oftentimes, you feel like you are swimming upstream. Mm-hmm. So for those of you who are new to entrepreneurship and you feel like that, you're not an anomaly. That's not a weird feeling. Those of us who are successful we all feel it, right? Because we are the anomalies, right? Only 2 out of 100 people in the United States consistently earn a 6-figure income. It's crazy to think about it, right? Because you see people going to concerts, you see people at bars and restaurants all day long, driving $50,000 and $80,000 cars, living in $200,000 and $300,000 and $400,000 houses. Look, they are check to check. They're check to check. Only 2 out of 100 people know what it's like to really earn that type of income on a consistent basis year in, year out. And when you think about that for a moment, in that pool, you got to know entrepreneurs are heavily represented. But be aware of the fact that most entrepreneurs don't get to 6-7 figures either. Because it's difficult, right? All the time you feel like you're on an island, like you're by yourself, like you're the only one that's going through these challenges. Getting in that space and seeing people who are going through life's challenges. The BS.com is saying hello to them. They're dealing with the layoffs from either themselves or a spouse. Something's going on with their children at school or in the household. Something's going on in their lives, personally, right? No one is immune to it. But when you get into a space where you see people overcoming it anyway, oh my goodness, right? The other thing I want to drive home, and thank you, Ms. Webb, I got to say this, right? For those of you who are here in Michigan, or if you are in a 3 to 5 hour drive of where we're at, you got no excuse. You have support. You have individuals who sometimes believe in you probably more than you do yourselves. You have individuals who go the extra mile. You owe it to yourself to plug into these events that are taking place here in our marketplace as well. Because I know we got a heavy Michigan, Detroit participation here on this call. You are doing yourself a huge disservice. Part of winning in this business is social evidence. People seeing a multitude of people excited and succeeding and doing well. That's what Ms. Webb is speaking to. The fact that she's part of a collective now of people who are winning. And if you hang around 6 cursing cousins, you'll become the 7th. If you hang around 6 entrepreneurs who are leveling up, growing excited, guess what? You'll become the 7th. You can't not miss the live events. I don't know what else to tell you. All right, so I'm gonna press pause because I can take flight. And I'm going to turn the call over to another incredible leader, change agent, just someone who I have so much regard and respect for. Her personal story, I cannot wait to hear it from the stage. And Miss Nicole Rogers, like, she does not know this, but she actually inspires me because I know her backstory, and to see the way that she continues to show up, like she shows up. It's just absolutely incredible. And I have so much regard for her. And Ms. Rogers, I know I'm putting you on the spot, but if you don't mind sharing with the group, what were some of your biggest takebacks from the event itself, but even from the speaker that was there at our Biz Connect Mixer? What was the biggest takeback?
Wow. I have to pull up my notes here. What was the biggest take back
Like,
yesterday?
or like three biggest nuggets.
The three biggest nuggets. I would have to say probably the biggest nugget from her is that she said the brand is you. How you show up. You are your brand.
Okay.
How you present yourself, how you show up in the world, how you show up with clients. And this is how you talk, how you walk, how you present yourself on a Zoom call, in person, whether you're on time or not. Yeah, everything from head to toe. So, you have that one shot, whether you're meeting someone on a Zoom call, like Mr. Buford say all the time, don't show up with the black bag on your face. I know things happen, here and there, we get it, or you're driving or something like that. But just not consistently, especially when we have guests on the call, because you are your brand. And we want to attract recruits. So we want them to see our faces. When we show up at the live events, be excited, show your tenacity, show your excitement, be welcoming, smile, because we are our brand. So that was huge. That was important. So we have to be mindful of how we show up. Another nugget, which I think we all can somewhat agree on this, is actually do not rely on family or friends for your business. Get out there in the public. A lot of times we're just too close to family and friends, especially when we're starting off something new, especially with Legal Shield, because it's legal services. They know us for something else. They may know us from the corporate world, or from working in a store, or in another type of industry. So legal services, they don't really know us for that yet or trust us. So we may not get the support from family or friends that we may want. So instead of getting caught up in a lot of dispute or disappointment, it's just try to rely mostly on getting business from the public. So that was also a good nugget. And you can't be all talk. That was another big nugget. Don't be all talk, be a doer. Just do. And I'll be transparent. I had to learn a little bit that myself. I had to cut back on a little talking because I was talking. And so I think going into 2024, that's a little bit more one of my goals, is to do less talking and more doing.
I love it. I love it. Um, Talk to me about how the event was formatted and why you believe everyone listening tonight, even if you're not in the Michigan market, why should people invite folks to that event? What do you think the biggest take back was in terms of the event itself and the way it's formatted and the end result?
Wow. I really like the new format. One of the main reasons I like the new format is because it's truly advantageous to everyone that participates, both the associates and the entrepreneurs that are there. The reason being why is truly for the networking. Everyone is given a chance to give their elevator pitch. And in doing so, it was very interesting to see what kind of businesses or what kind of services that other people bring to the table. So, I found out a lot by the guest speaker and the other young lady that was there. So we were actually able to exchange information like, oh my goodness, you have this this fashion business and let's exchange information. And she's going over to Italy in a couple of weeks with her brand. And then our guest speaker, she has a whole women's social group that, you know, is all about camaraderie and uplifting women and doing events. So, you know, you have that exchange of information that's benefit for everyone. And I could just see that growing and growing the more people that we have in that space. So it's a tremendous way to network and to gain clients. So that was awesome.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so very much, Ms. Rogers. Right. Look, if y'all didn't know it, Team New Horizons is a brand. For me, that's the thing I want to leave you with. We are a brand.
Okay.
Yes. Don't get it twisted. It's not just talk. It's not hyperbole. We are the fastest small business producing organization per capita in the entire company. That's a brand. And some of y'all are treating this like spam, and then you're mad when you're getting spam results. You're mad when, you know, your teammates aren't plugging in and doing the things that you're good, sir. Go ahead, do what you gotta do. You're upset because you're not getting the traction you want to get because you're not treating this like what it is. We are the fastest growing organization in Michigan. I was tapped to be the regional manager, not because I'm a nice, wonderful, fluffy person, if you haven't noticed. They asked me to be the RM because we are the most effective organization in Michigan, period. Right? And we're one of the fastest growing organizations in the company at large, right? Every single month, our names are on the bright lights on those international leadership calls. Somebody's getting a bonus, somebody's rank advancing, somebody's winning. Understand, we are the tip of the spear. And some of y'all are treating this like spam, right? The way you show up, as Ms. Ryder said, sends a message to your clients. It sends a message to your partners. So you'll show up at the job the way you're supposed to show up, right? You'll show up as the highly compensated sharecropper at the job, but the thing that's supposed to set you free, you're going to treat this and come up short here. To me, that doesn't make sense. If I'm going to show up anywhere, I'm going to show up to the thing that I own, that's mine, that I have agency in. I'm going to show up for what I own, not some job that can be taken away from me, or some place where I can be dismissed because somebody doesn't like my attitude or what zip code I'm born in, or my complexion or ethnicity or whatever, right? I'm going to show up for what's mine, right? And you can't expect to build a multi-million-dollar business till you show up like a multi-million-dollar person. Right? The attitude comes for the altitude. Showing up to the events puts your network, your family, your friends on notice that you are committed. Being enthusiastic, showing up properly on Zoom calls, presentations. Ms. Ryder said it, so I'm not going to go ad nauseam. I'm not going to repeat what she said. But showing up, right, is part of that attitude. It lets people know. It sends a message to people. This is real. This is serious. There's so much BS.com online right now. So much. So many companies. I've been in entrepreneurship 20 years. I cannot tell you how many companies and organizations I've seen come and go. Right? And here you are, whether you realize it or not, I know PPLSI doesn't say this to you, but know this: when you decide to become an associate, you are a franchise owner. This is your franchise. When people ask me what I do for a living, I tell them I own my own PPLSI franchise and business. That's how I introduce myself. I don't introduce myself as a salesperson for PPLSI. I don't introduce myself as an employee for PPLSI. I don't introduce myself as a marketer for PPLSI. I tell people I'm a franchise owner of PPLSI. I'm a business owner. That's what I tell them. Because that's what you are. And I need some of you in 2024 to act like you know it. Act like you know it. You know, you got people in this organization who are having $1,000 weeks and sometimes $1,000 days. And it's not like one off, it's happening regularly in our organization. You need to know that. You need to walk out with swag and know that the majority of people in your circle, even the people who are knocking down 100K per year, it doesn't matter if you're knocking down 100K per year if you spend in 120. Okay? They need an extra $20,000 in the budget. Trust me. So, all right, before I take flight again, and we'll be on here for another 30 minutes. Thank you, Ms. Rogers. Thank you, Ms. Webb. Once again, the most important event is the next event, right? So, you know, we have the BizConnect event next week, Tuesday. You know, we have the Monday, once again, live Zoom. We also have an event taking place intra-organizational on the last Fridays of each month. We're gonna have a flyer. I know Mr. Temple's gonna crush it with that. We have a flyer to recognize that event for people to come out, network, build relationships, learn from individuals who are winning, the do-roos, right? Get the information Ms. Webb was talking about. So with that being said, everyone have a fantastic evening. I celebrate success in advance. You already know what it is. I'm gonna be up for a little while. So if somebody wants to get in a three-way call, just text me, let me know. And look, let's act like we know it here in 2024, man. Some of you, man, there's so much I want to share right now. You have no idea. You have no idea. We just don't have the bandwidth for the time. But what I will tell you is you go online and you start looking at other organizations in this company, you start looking at other direct selling organizations, man, some of their phrases and trainings and some of their emblems and some of the things they're doing, it just looks really familiar. Looks really, really familiar, right? You know, they say the best flattery is imitation. For y'all who are online all day long messing around, I'm giving you a clue. So that being said, all right, everyone have a fantastic evening. Goodbye for now. We look forward to connecting with you soon. If you are not Performance Club qualified, it's January 17th. Call up leadership. Call me up. Yes, I'm busy. I don't want to hear that anymore. I've been busy all my life. Okay? I've been busy since I came out the womb. Call anyway. Text anyway. You have a question, three-way presentation. I'm not always available to be right then and there, but if I have flexibility in my calendar, I know the other leaders feel the exact same way. Put us to work. You're not in business by yourself. You may be in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. All right. Everyone have a fantastic evening. Goodbye for now.